Emily, my boss, glances at me. When should I rely on you? Her tearful eyes are glistening and incredibly beautiful. As I hesitate, Emily rests her head on my shoulder. A pleasant fragrance wafts from Emily's hair. From now on, I might rely on you a bit. Her words make me feel flustered. I slept so well. My name is Ted. I'm a 31-year-old businessman. It's the morning of the last day of a 3-day business trip. I just woke up in a room at a hotel. Ouch, my head hurts. I drank too much last night. As I get out of bed, I feel a dull headache and recall last night's business dinner. We went straight from the meeting to a nearby bar that opened early, and I got pretty drunk. But it was worth it. Just wait, Emily. You'll be pleased with the results. It seems I still feel a bit tipsy since I raise a clenched fist in the empty hotel room. Suddenly feeling embarrassed, I decide to take a shower. Emily is the woman I have feelings for. She's 33, older than me, and a beautiful single woman. She's a cool woman who swears to dedicate her life to her job. I often work with her as a sales team. I took a shower thoroughly. Today, we are invited to a wedding. The bride and groom are key contacts from a major client, and I heard a few of their colleagues were also invited. Since our company is small, I didn't expect us to be invited, so I was surprised when both Emily and I received invitations. Even Emily, who is usually reserved, was thrilled, jumping with joy. We often hit it off with the couple at work. Both Emily and I have always dealt with them sincerely. The invitation to the wedding is a result of that. To make an even better impression, I need to dress neatly and head to the venue. From here to my home in New York, it's about an hour by train. I'll head home first to finish getting ready and then go to the venue. The wedding starts at 3 p.m. It's still 9 a.m. I have a train booked that leaves at 10. It's only a 5-minute walk from the hotel to the station, so I can take it easy a bit. I decide to contact Emily and look for my phone. My phone is always in my bag. Where's my bag? Last night, I came back to the hotel drunk and fell asleep right away. If it were me, I'd have thrown the bag next to the bed. I look under the bed to check, but it's not there. I search the entire hotel room, but still can't find it. My mind starts to panic. Could it be I left it at the bar? Everything important is in that bag: my wallet, business cards, and phone. I rush to the front desk and ask them to call the bar I visited last night, but there's no answer. Of course. The bar also opened at 3 p.m. yesterday. The staff must all be fast asleep at this hour. Luckily, the company covers the hotel expenses, so checking out wasn't a problem. But now, I only have a travel bag with my clothes hastily stuffed in it. I feel lost, but there's one piece of luck. I have my train ticket in the breast pocket of my suit. I always put tickets in my pocket. It's been a habit since I was a kid. After using the outbound ticket, I left the return ticket in my pocket. Emily often tells me, it's risky, put it in your wallet, but this time, the habit saved me. Anyway, as long as I can get home, I can figure things out. If I explain to my landlord, I can get into my apartment even without keys. Fortunately, my landlord lives on the first floor of the apartment building, and we talk often. I'm worried about not having my phone, but I head to the station to catch the 10 o'clock train. As I walk briskly through the station, I notice people staring fixedly at one spot. What's going on? Looking in the direction of their gaze, I see a teenage girl in a school uniform crouched down. It seems like she's crying. She's sobbing loudly. Despite her obvious distress, no one approaches her. What a heartless world. A high school girl is in trouble, and no one helps. I still have time before the train departs. I approach the girl. What's wrong? When I speak, she flinches and looks at me nervously. It's no wonder she's startled by a man in his 30s suddenly talking to her. But it seems like an emergency, and she needs someone's help. As I wait for her to speak, her small lips move slightly. I'm okay. She says this while crying and then lowers her head again. She's clearly not okay. I continue talking. I might not be able to do much, but I can't just leave you like this. What happened? Do you need to call someone? I realize as I try to take out my phone. Oh, that's right. I don't have my phone or wallet. Thinking I can't help her with no phone, and seeing she doesn't seem ready to talk, I say, okay, I'll go now. But maybe the lady at the information desk can help. The girl seemed anxious about me leaving. She gently tugged at the hem of my suit as I tried to stand up. My mom is in critical condition. What? I try to make sense of the story through her sobbing. Her name is Lily. She's a 17-year-old high school student from New York. This morning, she received news that her mother had been in a car accident and was in critical condition. She rushed to the station with her teacher. She parted ways with the teacher at the station entrance and headed to the platform. She realized it at the ticket gate. The ticket that her teacher had given her and she had put in her purse was missing, along with the purse itself. She has no idea if she dropped it along the way or left it at her internship site. To make matters worse, her school prohibits bringing cell phones to internships, so she doesn't even have her phone. She felt helpless and crouched down here. What should I do, my mom? I can't just leave her like this. As someone who also lost his wallet, I want to help her. But all I have are some worn-out clothes and one train ticket to New York. If I give her this ticket, she can get back to New York. But then I won't be able to return to New York. I also have to attend a crucial client's wedding today. As I ponder this dilemma, I recall my grandpa. When I was a kid, my grandpa on my mom's side adored me. After my grandma passed away, he looked so lonely and eventually fell ill. In his hospital bed, he always seemed to say, "I'm all alone," looking despondent. Every time I visited, I'd say, "You've got me," and smile. Because it made him happy. But in the end, I couldn't be with him when he passed away. He died alone. I regretted it deeply. When I got the news of his critical condition, I was playing at a friend's house. By the time my parents called all my classmates' houses to find me, Grandpa had already passed. I look at Lily, who's still crying. It's clear who needs this train ticket more. I take out the train ticket from my breast pocket and offer it to Lily. Her face lights up for a moment, but she quickly looks away, feeling guilty. I force the ticket into her hand. But I feel bad for taking it. Holding her hand firmly, I look her straight in the eyes and say, "Don't hesitate. You'll regret it." Lily's tearful eyes widen in surprise. "Your mom is in critical condition, right? I hope she makes it." But critical means the worst could happen any moment. Run without hesitation. Before you regret it. I push her gently, and she starts running towards the platform. Watching her disappear beyond the ticket gate, I hold my head in my hands. What have I done? What was I thinking? Pretending to be some kind of hero. I have an important wedding to attend. But, well, as long as Emily shows up, it should be fine. I'm just an extra anyway. My strength is not dwelling on things and staying positive. There's no use worrying, so I head to the police station. Maybe my bag has been turned in. But it wasn't at the police station. I begged the police officer to let me use the phone. I called the office, but no one answered. Of course. It's Saturday. Unless there's an emergency, we don't work on weekends. Next, I desperately try to recall Emily's contact information. In this age where you can make a call with just one tap on your phone, there's no way I'd remember her number. I rummaged through my travel bag for any contact information related to work, but found nothing. So, I decided to head to the bar I visited last night. The bar opens at 3 p.m. If the staff arrives a couple of hours early, I might be able to grab the train, endure an hour's ride, and still make it to the 3 p.m. wedding. I anxiously waited for the staff to arrive, but even after 1 p.m., no one showed up. Growing more restless, I continued to wait, and finally, at 1:30 p.m., a staff member leisurely arrived, startled by my sudden rush. Fortunately, they had kept my bag behind the register. The staff member, who had served me last night, noticed my bag while cleaning up and tried to chase after me. But they couldn't find me. They apologized for the delay in noticing. I thanked the kind staff and dashed out of the bar. Looking at my phone, I saw a ton of missed calls from Emily. I called Emily while running. She answered before the first ring even finished. Before I could utter a word, Emily's angry voice pierced my ears. What have you been doing all this time? Stunned by the sudden yelling, my mind went blank. The wedding starts at 3 p.m. It's still only 1:30 p.m. I shouldn't be getting scolded this badly. Maybe something happened? I briefly explained the situation. When I mentioned that I left my bag at the bar, Emily sighed so heavily it was frightening even though I couldn't see her. What? So you still haven't? No, I haven't gotten on the train yet. What on earth are you doing? She yelled again. It's understandable. This is my fault. I was about to ask her to explain the situation, saying I'd be a little late, when I was startled. On the other end of the phone, it seemed like Emily was crying. This is an important wedding of our client's key contacts. Just being invited is a big deal, a chance to build stronger trust. I might ruin this opportunity, but crying seems overboard. Thinking my admiration for Emily might need to be forever sealed, I started to make excuses. Well, I did have the train ticket, but I gave it away for a good reason. What? I sensed Emily gasping on the other end of the call. Just then, I arrived at the station. Anyway, I'll buy a new ticket and head over right away. Talk to you soon, I said, cutting the call abruptly. And bought a ticket to New York at the counter. The train was departing in just 10 minutes. Even so, the arrival time in New York was 3 p.m. The wedding venue is a luxury hotel about 15 minutes from New York Station by taxi, but it's certain I won't make it to the 3 p.m. start. I plan to change into my wedding suit at home, but there's no time. As soon as I got off the train at New York Station, I rushed into a department store, explained my situation to the staff. Bought a black suit that fit me, and changed right there before heading to the venue. Grateful for my body that fits off the rack suits and my mom for having me the way I am, I made my way to the venue. Arriving out of breath, I found that the wedding ceremony was just transitioning to the reception. It was 3:30 p.m. I managed to avoid the embarrassment of opening the door in the middle of the reception. After checking in, I searched for Emily. Before I could find her, Emily spotted me and ran over in a stunning smoky pink dress. She rushed towards me and hugged me tightly. Ha! My mind went blank, and my face turned red. As I stammered in confusion, Emily said, "Thank you." Though I didn't understand, I looked at her tear-filled eyes. You helped Lily, didn't you? The name sounded familiar, but my brain was still not functioning fully. The high school girl you gave your train ticket to, she's my niece. Look, this girl, right? Emily showed me her phone. There, in what seemed to be a hospital room, was the girl I had given the ticket to just hours earlier, smiling faintly. The coincidence was overwhelming. But I was shocked at the same time. Wait, so the critical condition you mentioned was? Emily continued. My sister, it was a tough situation. Emily had rushed to the hospital after hearing her sister was critically injured. Emily's parents had already passed away, and Lily's father, Emily's brother-in-law, had also died in an accident. After contacting Lily's teacher, Emily had been waiting for Lily while trying to reach me. There was no way she could attend the wedding in this state. That's why she wanted me to take her place at the wedding. But I had left my phone and all my belongings at the bar, and her calls went unanswered. Lily arrived at the hospital around 11:30 a.m. That's when they found out she had lost her purse and couldn't board the train. Emily was surprised and asked, "How did you get back?" Lily, with tearful eyes, said, "A stranger gave me his ticket. When you called, it was already time to leave for the wedding if we were to make it. I finally got in touch with you. And though I hoped you'd handle the wedding alone, you said you'd be late." I yelled out of frustration and worry. "I'm sorry." Emily apologized to me. I accepted her apology. Wait a minute. I realized something shocking. So, your sister is still in critical condition, and Lily is alone with her? When I said this, Emily nodded yes, holding back tears. I pushed Emily's back and said, "Hurry. Go back to the hospital." Quickly, repeatedly like a broken record. "It's fine, Lily is there, and I made it to the wedding. Besides, this event is important." Without letting her finish, I shouted, "Just go. You'll regret it if you don't." This is the second time I've said you'll regret it today. Thinking of my grandpa again, I looked Emily straight in the eyes. Leave this to me. Everything will be fine. I'll secure this important deal on my own. I expressed my baseless confidence earnestly. Please stay with your sister. Stay with Lily. Please. I asked her deeply, and Emily softly said thank you before turning and leaving the venue. Please, make it in time. I prayed as I watched Emily's back. The reception proceeded smoothly. When I found the right moment to greet the bride and groom, they welcomed me with smiles. They had heard from the staff about Emily leaving early and were very concerned. They said, "Take care of her," making me feel humbled. I had caused this trouble and had nothing to support. I assured them that I would visit them again for business, and they said they were looking forward to our big deal. Apparently, they had overheard some of the conversation in the lobby. Feeling a bit embarrassed and knowing others were waiting to greet the bride and groom, I quickly left their table. After the reception ended, I immediately called Emily. Her distressed voice made me straighten up. "Can I come to the hospital too?" Emily's voice was faint, and I strongly felt the urge to support her. I expected to be told off for intruding on a family moment. But to my surprise, she said, "I'm waiting for you." I asked for the hospital's location and took a taxi there. Arriving at the hospital out of breath, I saw doctors and nurses gathered around. It was clear she didn't have much time left. Understanding the situation, I quietly approached Emily. Tears were streaming endlessly from Emily's eyes, and Lily was holding the hand of the woman lying on the bed. Lily, like Emily, was also crying. As the heart rate monitor's beep slowed, Lily let out a small cry. "Mom!" Everyone focused on Lily. "Mom, you're holding my hand, can you hear me?" She desperately spoke to her mother. But her mother's eyes didn't open. Watching closely, I saw her lips move slightly, though I couldn't make out the words. It looked like she was saying thank you, and I instinctively whispered thank you. At that moment, the heart monitor made a foreboding sound. The room was filled with quiet sobs. Emily staggered, and I supported her. The doctor's final announcement echoed hollowly in the room, and Emily and Lily broke down in tears. After the doctors and nurses left, and Emily and Lily had cried their hearts out, the room fell silent. Thank goodness. Emily gave me a sharp look at my unintended comment. Ignoring it, I murmured, "Grandpa might have said something too." I wish I could have heard it. Tears started to fall from my eyes as well. Emily's stern expression softened into tears again. Did she say thank you? She repeated my words from the final moment. I answered with conviction. Yes. Emily's eyes welled up once more. I see. I see. She repeated, as if reassuring herself. Thank you so much. I didn't get your contact information or name. I regretted it on the train. I never imagined you were from the same company as my aunt. Lily, having calmed down a bit, appreciated me deeply. Following her lead, Emily also appreciated me. Thanks to you, we were able to say a proper goodbye. Thank you. I took a step back. Well, if I hadn't left my bag at the bar, you both could have gotten back quickly. I stammered, and Emily glared at me, scolding, "That's true." Lily burst out laughing, and for a moment, the atmosphere in the room lightened. If you need anything, just let me know. Emily gave me a glance. When should I rely on you? Her tear-stained eyes were glistening and incredibly beautiful. As I hesitated, Emily rested her head on my shoulder. A pleasant fragrance wafted from Emily's hair. I might rely on you a bit more from now on. Flustered by her words, I loudly responded, yes. I'll always support you. Emily gave me a small scolding, "You're too loud." After that, there were the funeral and various arrangements. With only Emily and Lily as close relatives, I helped with what I could. When things had settled down a bit, Emily invited me to her home. She ordered some simple snacks for delivery and showed her appreciation. After seeing her sister off, Emily's expression was bright but still carried a hint of sadness. Emily slowly started to speak. I decided to take Lily in. It wasn't surprising. I had expected Emily to do that. Lily must be so relieved, I said. Emily gave a wry smile and said, "Ah, marriage is a distant dream now," in a resigned voice. Without thinking, I blurted out, "How about me?" Emily didn't seem shocked at all and laughed softly. "That's impossible. Lily still has 5 more years until she graduates from college. Find someone nice and be happy, Ted. I can wait 5 years," I said, feeling frustrated and clinging to hope. Emily seemed to be brushing me off lightly. "Please. Go out with me. Date me with marriage in mind. I will wait as long as it takes. I've fallen in love with you," I desperately pleaded, and Emily straightened her back. She looked stunning. "I have the responsibility of raising Lily into a respectable person until she graduates from college. Money isn't the issue. But I need to support Lily. I don't have time for a relationship," Emily declared firmly, looking straight at me. "Can't you share a bit of that responsibility with me?" Emily furrowed her brow at my words. A 31-year-old youngster? Taking responsibility for a high school girl? It's impossible. Emily looked at me with exasperation, and I replied. "And Emily, you're just a 33-year-old young woman." Emily puffed out her cheeks at my remark. Don't state a woman's age so bluntly. Her puffed-up cheeks were so amusing that I couldn't help but burst into laughter. Then I stepped closer to Emily and took her hand. Her hand tensed up for a moment, but she didn't pull away. "I want to protect Lily, who was crying at the station. I want to support Lily, who was crying in the hospital. And I want to spend my life loving and healing you, who was also crying in that hospital room." Emily didn't give a verbal response, but she squeezed back my hand tightly. It was her way of showing her affirmation. 5 years later, Emily and I got married. We had just finished the wedding ceremony and were now at the reception. It was a small, intimate venue. To ensure Emily didn't feel self-conscious about not having many relatives, we kept the guest list to mainly friends. We even invited the couple from the client who had invited us to their wedding 5 years ago. They attended with their 2 small children, smiling. Emily left her seat first for an outfit change. As I watched her leave, Lily came up to our table. She recently graduated college, and she's been busy as a first-year police officer. She had just returned from the police academy. Having lost both her parents in accidents, she studied hard and pursued a career as a police officer to help reduce traffic accidents. Whenever I visited Emily's house with some treats, Lily was always studying in her room. I watched her, now a beautiful young woman, with pride. "You're adorable, Lily. Has anyone weird tried to talk to you?" Lily laughed at my comment. "Adorable? That's something you should say to the bride," I countered. "I already told the bride she's beautiful, so it's okay." I had been telling Emily she was beautiful throughout the preparations. "That's so like you, Uncle Ted." Lily affectionately called me Uncle Ted. "Sorry for making you wait for 5 years. My aunt is stubborn." We had made a promise that we wouldn't marry until Lily was settled. It was a decision we both made. Not just Emily. I shook my head silently and smiled at Lily. "In these 5 years, have I done anything for you?" Lily leaned in slightly and whispered in my ear. "Ever since you gave me that train ticket, Uncle Ted, you've been my hero." Hearing that unexpectedly made me blush. Lily teased me with a smile. A staff member informed me that it was time for me to leave the room for a while. As I stood to leave, Lily beamed at me. "My hero, Uncle Ted. Please take good care of my precious aunt." With a thumbs up, I acknowledged her words. For the next outfit, Emily would be wearing a deep blue, slender dress that suited her perfectly. I knew I'd be showering her with compliments again. Suppressing my grin, I headed toward the door of the reception hall, hearing the MC's words behind me. "Towards you, adorned in that beautiful blue dress."